support. One who upholds morale, the greatest leader of all nations, once said, leads by example. That's Andrew Jackson. By the way, I hope everybody's keeping a positive attitude. Remember, kindness goes farther than rudeness for a sergeant who knows, especially platoon sergeants, colonels, generals. It's not about race, it's about heart. When it comes down to it, that person standing next to you, not just in We Were Soldiers, the stadium scene where he says, look around you, we got Jews, Gentiles. That's a perfect example of what Colonel Moore wanted to address. When it comes down to it, sooner or later, those people might be saving your life one day, so respect them. Don't treat them differently just because they're a different race, different religion, different culture. Remember, in God's eyes, we are all equal, at least in mine. I walk this earth next to God, and any closer I'd be standing next to Him. I stand before all of you. I can take a beating and still stand and hold a straight face like Jesus on that cross right there. You know, it's not an easy job caring for folks all over the world, trying to provide some kind of warmth, comfort, answers they may need, prayers even. Some just arrived off the tarmac and already looking for where Care Bear went off to. I mean, if it weren't for 90% of the stuff I say on here, some will tell you to your face that I wouldn't have made it home from deployment. You know, there's a lot of divisions right there. I've heard some feedback here and there, especially by phone from colonels, generals, people I care about all over the world who will tell you to your face they don't like writing Dear John letters. So-and-so Sally killed themselves today. Not just 5-year-olds or family members. You know, put it this way. A person goes home at the end of the day, that's the last thing they want to see when they come in the morning, that so-and-so killed themselves in the barracks because they thought nobody cared. If that was true, I wouldn't be on here talking to you, and sure as heck not for my health. It's never about my health when I'm coming around. It's because I care about you, that inner you sometimes forget about and sometimes throw in the trash can. Now, we all read the Pontus Pilot Dummy manual here. There's a fine point between right and wrong. That's coming from a guy who goes to concerts, plays a rock guitar, plays a cherokee flute in the rain, green berets, John Wayne special, not just saluting the American flag in front of a general like Peggy Combs. I've done a lot of stuff that out of nowhere that just, I remember the first day I arrived at Fort Knox, they said the morale was, there was no such thing as morale on post, that life sucks, and there's no morale here, period. That was coming from somebody who's been here a while. I mean, that's harsh reality when you got someone telling you there's no morale here. I changed that, didn't I? That's the first thing I do when I come on base. It sure as hell not walking around for my health. It's trying to make a difference in your life that turns a chain reaction and turns around and has a reaction on your platoon's life, your soldier's life next to you, that person from Japan, Korea, that person from Europe, Italy, Australia. That's someone who actually cares about you, whether you know it or not. Whether you're having a good day, rough day, challenging day, stepping stone day. Sooner or later you're going to get through that altogether. And on top of that, last weekend's video, like I said before, I didn't appreciate what occurred at Fort Knox. I think their main gate needs an overhaul. It was inappropriate. That's not something you do to a soldier for caring, keeping y'all employed. I mean, if you read a Pontus Pilot Dummy manual, you would know where I'm coming from. Someone would have smelled a snake at 9 yards. That's from the same person goes bowling, barbecues in the rain, and go hold a straight face while keeping you all employed. That's a friendship you don't throw in the trash can. And sure as hell don't do Don't fall for the making fun of the guy keeps you employed trick. I mean, if you look at Jesus on the cross, since you were born from your family, if you grew up on a farm coming from a family of nurses, his grandmother lived in a shed for an OR nurse, she could tell you from her grave that obviously someone who can iron himself in the dark, drives through traffic, cares for folks, and using his own son's gas money, doesn't need to be harassed for being a caring, decent human being. That's not something you do to people. You don't hang people out to dry like Jesus on a cross for keeping you employed. That just doesn't roll over too well, especially not even a weekend after change of command ceremony party with Colonel Edward and Command Sergeant Major Robinson leaving. I mean, you just don't throw people out for no reason, period. I mean, especially if they never did anything wrong. And I stood there and looked them dead center and told them, hey, you don't have any business doing that. I stand up for myself and millions of other troops. I wouldn't hesitate to put someone in their place real fast, especially when they're wrong and out of line. I mean, you should have consulted with somebody. That way you don't end up in the funny papers. Hello, Shania Twain, KFC Young concert. Do you want to get those after going through a concert in person at the door? Obviously goes to country music concerts. The average reporter would look at this like kind of humorous. Gee whiz, what's that like? He or she probably say, y'all get paid random selection. Do y'all do that random selection? Just throw people off base for no reason? Or do you get extra promotion points with that? I mean, it don't take a genius to figure this out. I'm glad I'm not in your shoes because I wouldn't hear the end of it from my folks if I threw someone out for keeping me employed. And sure as hell don't take sides with a slandering, criminal, military-hating, bigot, female, or male that just thinks it's cute harassing or preying upon military families after they leave. I'm the one person that defends all of you. I mean, it's not something I take wholeheartedly or throw away. I mean, hello, an officer's son. It's like, you know, you didn't hurt me, and I did nothing wrong. And second, I don't believe the false rumor BS. I don't have time for jealous thieves, ignorant bliss. It says that in the Bible. I'm a better person. Here I am. I'm not going to stop anytime soon broadcasting in front of generals, colonels, presidents, people, senators, people who listen all over the world. I mean, I'm the one first line of defense when it comes to defending a troop, someone homeless without a roof who didn't ask to be homeless. I don't turn veterans away. I hire them. There are people who mow my lawn who are veterans. They're not going to hesitate to tell you, hey, I have a house of 5 kids. Here I am. I'm mowing this large lawn for him. He keeps me employed. At least I have a job. That's the same thing for a waiter, a small business owner. There are people who look up to me because they know I'm the one person they can depend upon. They don't have time for lying, slandering, rumoring, bigots, credit fraud artists, meth addicts, the worst of the worst. You pray for change their ways. Even rental scam artists. I mean, there are people who try and bring you down just for having a job, or even get you in trouble or fired. I'm the one friend right there who will sit there at a coffee table and be like thinking, well, ways to keep you hired. Let's see, are they hiring veterans? I hope they are. I'm kind enough to sit there for a couple hours and wait on soldiers coming in and help them feel at ease. He ain't the only one who's been through that uniform. Certainly not the last. Leaving, retiring is not an end in the road. This ain't it. And sure as hell, not the only option here. I mean, if you go to Department of Veterans Affairs, there's all kinds of website links that would lead you in the right direction, even a handbook on the fine points of becoming a veteran to joining a new hobby. I mean, there are people who get paid 1-800-crisis communications, hotline expressions, As you can see right over here in my big old bachelor house with a fireplace. Over there, General McCombo right here, standing next to General. People would be delighted to tell you that Care Bear stands up for himself, was never done anything wrong, even at Fort Campbell. I mean, I don't know where you got your false, slandering information news from, but y'all need to learn that upholding gate security is one thing, taking sides with criminals and getting let go, laid off, fired is another. I mean, that's the best way to lose your jobs. I mean, 50 years, not gonna hesitate. You just harassed a dad for the wrong way for no reason. I mean, it needs to be corrected, if not already. It was inappropriate. I don't appreciate the embarrassment publicly either. That's not something you do to somebody. Like I said, those are people who pray, change their ways, not sit there and slander someone because they're jealous of what they have or do on posts. I mean, I would have smelled that miles out. Obviously, you're up to no good trying to harass a dad for having it all. Gee whiz, makes you think of the family that's coming out of the military. Who hopes they don't fall prey to some identity fraud artist, huh? Here I am defending all them troopers, making sure they stay safe at night while they work real hard. That's the kind of person I am. Carrying on, for somebody that is a 9/11 proud supporter and doesn't have time for fudge cakes, yet upholds Children's Foundations, Children's Miracle Network, much love, and everybody else I support on my Facebook. Day and night, people who look up to me and know that I'm the one person they can depend upon for answers. Being this close to God and caring and gifted and psychic and somebody who can relate to things, even look at a family member who used to be alive and sit there, not just Lost City of Angels, Nicolas Cage and Meg Ryan having all the fun, or the Crow movie, and be like, I may be having a conversation to myself. Who isn't at times? Rescue me with an iPad. People who work day and night have conversations with themselves. There are reality TV shows where people will sit there and look at you in the face. That's, human nature. People talk to themselves. Get over it. People don't have any business harassing someone who keeps people employed. You don't see people harassing women wearing camouflage pants at the mall. I mean, hello. This is 2015, not, the dinosaur period. Y'all need to think a little harder next time before you harass somebody the wrong way for caring for you folks. I mean, seriously. You look at that guy on the cross, look real hard and think, that's not something you do at a base at all. I mean, people do stuff like that, end up in the comics. Because they forgot to read a Pontus Pilot Dummy manual. Raising a guy quote keeps y'all employed trick. Somewhere in the Bible. Next conversation here. Oh, being a bachelor dad, pretty much First Amendment, I do what I darn well please, because I can. Howard Stern can't have all the fun. Imagine the criticism he's gone through. They even tried to shut him down one time because of the stuff that was foaming out of his mouth. I saw his bio. Dolly Parton and everybody else who cares about me and stands by me, and God bless Reba and everybody else, Shania Twain. Again, I went to her concert. You can see the latest videos. All last August, and I had a giddy old time with some family, and there's not a thing I wouldn't do for any country singer, being the next country singer right here, someone with God in him, who upholds integrity to a T. I was just at Fort Campbell the other week before the concert, and I do a lot, support folks going on base, and will continue to do so, and don't have time for criminal bigots harassing me the wrong way or anybody else or trying to slander my name. I mean, those are people you report, video, and if they continue to do so, arrest for harassing a dad the wrong way. I mean, that's what should have happened from Fort Campbell. I mean, you shouldn't even got that far. You should have been nipped in the butt. You should have sat there and been like, wait a minute, this sounds like a criminal person outside base trying to lie their way to get on base. I mean, where does it say we take sides with offenders, especially military offenders? And that's an offender trick. I mean, anybody would have smelled that miles out. Carrying on. Yeah, I'll take the knee soldiers out there deployed. I know some of you haven't seen your newborn daughter, son in years. I feel for the one who, like that, aren't in the Army Wives show, only had 5 minutes portrayed before she had to be deployed or sent elsewhere. It's not an easy task having to give up a lot of sacrifices while providing a gift of peace. Looking at some children here in the face on a wall, thinking about all of them, trying to give some kind of hope, sympathy, respects of America, a taste of freedom, what we have over here, while wondering that somebody might come up to us with a grenade that might be a child or someone we thought wasn't brainwashed by somebody who took you for granted. Yeah, you don't just see this stuff in movies. People who offend people will use their kids, they'll use priests, they'll use nuns, they'll use whoever it takes. Dummy man will hear. And since Joanne d'Arc, since Elvis Presley, since Bruce Lee, who put the bullet in the gun and why theory, since JFK, I mean, it doesn't take a genius to figure out. Obviously, someone who cares about you is trying vainly hard to keep them doors open instead of you fired, laid off. Is someone trying vainly hard at the same time protecting and defending black meaning the Constitution of the United States. Some take that away for granted and throw it in the trash can. There are people who don't understand it on the other side as well, who quite frankly would rather see that burnt to the ground, just like everything else. That made God's greatest country and every other nation great instead of chaotic. There are people on the side of neighborhoods who rather see this place turned into a drug fest. No wonder they're harassing the one person that tries upholding all that peace and nice and comfy and everything cozy, while pointing out crime prevention at the same time, keeping people employed. I mean, no wonder they would harass that one person because they don't like the fact that I'm caring for all of you. You know what my response is? Screw jealousy, and I don't have time for jealous, bigot, military haters, okay? I have time for what matters most. That's what families look up to because they know that guy running around with his head on post on other installations wherever I go to next isn't there for his health. It's because he cares about you. Trying to keep you employed, trying to keep you positive because this, at the end of your day, shouldn't be the answer here. There are people, I kid you not, who've been through so much stuff, sweat, blood, just as much as in a hospital room, a ground floor, in an OR room where my grandmother used to work in upstate New York for 50-some counting years, who know her by name and know that rescuing someone's life and taking charge of that life is a great responsibility. I mean, there's not one thing I wouldn't do for a veteran. I won't turn veterans away. My door's always open. You know where I live here in Elizabethtown, 328 Helm Street, next to Red Cross, another great organization I support. They drop by. St. James, everybody else, it's a small town. Word travels fast when you have a Sarge that just won't stop for nobody. Passion of the Christ. Jesus wore the crown of thorns. What makes you think I'm going to stop after watching all that? I mean, hello. It don't take a genius to figure out that if that guy can wear a crown of thorns, obviously Care Bear Cares can take a beating like that and still hold a straight face while making you laugh at the same time. Does it look like he's stopping for his health? Carry on. Pointing out a few crime prevention pointers to using cell phone cameras or something somebody's harassing you to. If you don't try something out, how is it ever going to be good? Look on my face. While eating coffee, eating whatever comes to mind in the morning. And sitting there kind enough to try and help these folks stay open by sitting there a while and helping folks sit at ease. I mean, people need that. And they feel good knowing that someone's around who shows them a guiding light, that there's somebody, not nobodies. You'd be surprised what some, you know what, I don't know, wasn't raised proper would try and do to demean you publicly and bring you down, make you cry at night. Wait, Care Bear rescues the day by sitting to remind you, hey, thank God you're doing that, because if it weren't for you and many others, we'd be sick. We'd have the dang flu. Obviously, you're not ashamed of working because you have a job at least. Hold your head high, ma'am, sir. At least you're working. There are many people on the other side of this world who wish they had a job and are looking for ones in the middle of the night. I feel for graveyard shift workers. They think they're alone. They're not. I care about them and their health at the same time, family and nurses. People who care about people, okay? It's not going to stop anytime soon. Look what Nelson Mandela went through. I mean, the criticism he went through, and people thought he was crazy. And at the same time, he went through how many years before he became president? Hello. I mean, his president didn't stop. JFK didn't stop either. Oh, wait, we got people trying to be re-elected for president, and criticism they went through just to be somewhere in the political field. I'm on neither side. Any president would know that. If I was ever to sit in Dad's big Washington don't close my face deal, I wouldn't leave until it was signed. I'd move my Xbox in mobile kit here. I have my friend sitting next to me. Stars and all, general ranks, colonels, what have you, just to keep your base open instead of laid off, fire, closed, permanent curtains. Gone with the wind. Would be proud of wide earth. People that inspire people to do better. I'm sitting right here 2 feet in front of you. I'm sitting here sometimes I'd be sitting at, I was trying some new hotel out I heard about, or dining facility. That's a rule of mine. I won't put millions of lives on the line unless I see it first. I have to see it. Or I won't put some family in harm's way. I lead by example. I mean, you don't just watch this stuff in movies. That's just one thing about anyone would tell you. And when someone's being hurt or harassed just for supporting us folks, we got problems here. As I helped somebody out the other day. Why are you harassing that person just because their uniforms doesn't make them less of a human being? Yeah, they're a veteran now. So they're using a t-shirt instead of a full dress uniform. That doesn't make it less of a human being for them to be treated differently for supporting veterans. You don't see women being harassed for wearing khaki pants at a mall. I mean, to do so would be considered harassment. I mean, that's like breaking the law there. And I'm more stern on myself than anybody. You don't know what it's like being deprived of something you gave life with until someone does that to you. And I pray to God neither of you ever go through the hurt I've ever been through. As I said, Jesus can go take a beating, so can I, so can you, for many and for my son and for all children out there. And I'm still standing, aren't I? There's people out there who call me Pops because, they never had parents. There's someone who told me to my face a couple of weeks ago even, if it weren't for you, I wouldn't have made it in the army. Seriously. I hope you enjoy that cup of coffee right there. I tell them, keep your head high, kid, because there's somebody out there who actually cares about you and not just all talk. There's no way. 5 hours of mentality up till almost noon from 11 p.m. last night. I don't think he's on for his health. There's no way on that. Individual will tell you to your face, regardless of how many times I make them laugh or in person, that this guy's the real deal. They don't have time for fudge kicks, false rumors, slandering. They don't take sides with criminals. You pay for those people because they're making it hard for those getting out and needing a second chance at life, not just watching movies. There are people out there day and night sacrificing their time, watching over me and everything else around here. I sit there and look at a guy on a cross and, wonder why people think it's cute harassing the guy for keeping people employed trick. And I look at him and think, okay, interesting how it feels like that at the end of the day, example, kind of feeling. Then I think about all those that are around me that got me this far, and, yeah, I'm not stopping anytime soon. I'll tell you that right now. I won't hesitate to tell you the fine points of, you should be more careful from now on because that's how people get fired or sued. And all the same words, harassing people for caring for folks, especially. And moving on, like I said, I thought that was inappropriate, and I'm leaving that with Colonel Edwards to correct because, they did that not even a day after his party I attended at the landing zone, Sammy Adams pub. Football Roger right here. Good NFL Dallas linebacker draftees. We can't lose this year. Diehard football watcher, WWF concert goer, fireworks expert, pyro. I launch fireworks in the rain. Even show you a few pointers on animals and adopting and stuff. Things to keeping the good Lord's work going here and bringing you closer to God, especially those who miss church. I keep churches employed. There's nothing to hospitals, If it weren't for some folks off base, you wouldn't even have a base to look at, much less a job. I mean, there are people always trying to find ways to cut back, and here I am trying to help y'all stay open. So, like I said, there'll come a time where you feel like you're not being heard general-wise. You might come get Care Bear because, one, you better hope he has coffee. Two, he doesn't like politics. Three, he's going to sit there and look some people dead center and be like, okay, I'm not leaving. I don't care how many MREs I got to eat here. I got my Xbox. We're good. This better get signed because that base ain't closing. Comprende? Something along those words with a sense of humor. You should see my dad at lunchtime. He could define break time to you in calculations, alright? He's that quick. The idea of what safe sex means, I showed you that one a while ago. He has a sense of humor looking at a mailbox. Hoping he's not holding a buzzard in his hand when he's walking by. Sense of humor, Dad. In Washington. To how to prevent yourself from being falling prey to identity thieves, to guard your life practically when you get out, not leaving it lying around for someone to steal or grab, who you thought was a nice roommate or what have you. You can't trust people, you gotta learn to trust. Be kind to others as they do you. Don't take your frustrations out on your family, those that care about you, those that got you this far. Take it out on gym equipment. Cool off and walk your hind parts back home. Don't take it out on your kid. They're not to blame for you having a bad day or coming back from deployment. That is a job, duty, mission you had to do. You're not the only one. It helps to talk about stuff. I even offer my backyard for camping versus being fined for camping every day. I mean, why pay for camping when to your office's backyard to people who need a little more time to cool off deployment-wise? Who would do that? Obviously a real friend you don't throw in the trash. Speaking of all of those on that big old screen out there in Kabul somewhere, watching me in formation. Now y'all take a knee. I'm going to say a real prayer before I read this nice handy dandy courtesy of some squared away Casanova the World 20 fans here, who make sure this newspaper ain't far away from Sarge no matter where I go. This gold Fort Knox, Kentucky Standard here. It goes like this. Oh Lord, please watch over me, those less fortunate than me. May you help me uphold integrity, duty, country, honor, and everything else that matter in all nations, all races, all cultures. May you help me understand compassion, sincerity, and integrity, oh Lord. With conviction and compassion comes everything else that matters, oh Lord. And through it all, let me be at my side. May you help me, guide me when I feel fallen weak or attacked or harassed the wrong way, oh Lord. May you help those families understand that Care Bear's here to stay. He's not going anywhere no time soon. And he fends off jealousy with a grin. I mean, I know a jealous bigot, criminal, what have you, when I see one. I was raised that way, not just watching Red Dawn, the movie, and everything else that an officer's son was watching and reading National Geographic. Thank you, Lord, for the things you have done for me, for looking out for folks and for guiding me to give me strength to continue on. I do my best to prevent people from committing suicide, not just at hotels. I'll sit there and say a prayer. I wish I met that person a little sooner, standing there before me, whose family told me all about him or her who just killed themselves weeks ago. I wish to God I could have done something a little quicker, a little faster. 5 minutes, but hey, we'll get through this together. Killing yourself and being punished for a million years, like some movies demonstrate, it's just not worth the punishment. Sitting there because you threw your life away. You're supposed to live it. Think about those kids in the hospital beds who have leukemia, cancer, who want to live longer. They didn't even have a vote. Think about them. Enlist in a new hobby. Whatever it takes. There's 1-800-CRISIS communication hotline right here. These people work day and night. They're just as they're veterans too. Veterans of foreign wars, I support. To American Legion, these people are grandparents, they're colonels, former generals, they get paid to answer such questions, even talk to you on the fine points of living on. I mean, you don't just watch this on Forrest Gump, the movie. I get around, and I do a lot helping folks. The other clubbers. To, showing people how to carry on their life, oh Lord. May you help those who are deployed come home safe, to those that miss them, those that love them. Remember, they are not to blame for your bad, rough day. It helps to communicate. Relationships need communication, whether it's through a computer screen transformer level, or whether it's writing, dear so-and-so, the Notebook, Noah guy character people are reminded of by talking to me level. I mean, I am there for you night and day. My door is always open, not just generals. I'll walk into an office of a general like I own the darn place with some donut or something in my hand, or Starbucks I just had, just to see how their day went. That does not make me less of a human being. That makes me a friend you do not throw in the trash. I mean, to do that, you might as well throw yourself in the trash too. There are people in submarines who miss me, care about me. There are people in Washington. There are millions of viewers all over the world who know that when this guy comes on, it's not for his health. It's because I care about you, oh Lord. And trying to show you a better you. My job, the reason why God gave me life, is to relight yours. Show you that inner spark you forgot a long time ago, where you're feeling all down and alone and unsure of things. I help you with that. I help you get through that day. We'll get through it together, so one way or another. Now you know how people above you feel. I mean, It's not an easy job serving in the military or out. It's not an easy job hoping you don't get let go, laid off after the military. At least you're not going it alone, and sure as hell not the last. We're all someone in God's eyes. We're His children. Here I am trying to help you get through that with courage, conviction, dedication. You're out of the military now. You're a veteran. Congratulations. You'll hold your head high. You'll remember those people you served with. Hopefully they remember you years later. They won't treat you like less of a human being for being a human being or wearing part of a uniform or half a uniform. And not just a picture frame and a bunch of awards on a wall. God bless you and what you all do every day and night. Especially here at Fort Knox, Fort Campbell. Y'all hold your head high. You got that? I'll never fly away. Especially not stalkers. They fly through here, not just the we were soldiers, guys. I gotta tell these guys, hey, you want a barbecue? You'll have to come down and get one. You know where the grill is, right? Few pointers here. Unless you like him or still you like what's that chow that tastes like once in a while watery eggs, then you know you got a serious person that needs an apple to help brighten their day. Maybe they'll cook better. Maybe they'll watch Iron Chef like I do. Few pointers here when it comes to dating bachelorettes. Women-wise, how to cook, not just watching Christmas with the Cranks, the movie. It helps to have an extinguisher handy, especially when siblings come by. Make sure it's tucked away around under the tree or the sofa somewhere. Old Betsy can't cook with down. Oh, hell, Miles Wheel, make sure she's got. Oh, I got this heavy duty one just for her at Home Depot. I had to make sure that one was clear. What's your leg? Don't let the stall. Okay, never mind. While playing Xbox, God bless. I feel for you, those with siblings. I just don't do mercy. Heck, I even tell the bachelorettes to leave them parked right outside. See, chair, park it. I feel for those who don't even want to open the door. Smart. Move on. I'm in. Y'all can get up now. And remember, integrity and conviction, dedication to my country and everything else that matters comes with dedication. That means don't fall prey to criminals, those manipulating you, trying to make you look bad, those trying to get dirt on you and get you in trouble later. Court-martial is not humorous. You want to end up in jail? Don't do it. You hold the line. There are people, families depending on you in those base housings. Don't fall prey to offenders. That's the dumbest trick ever. Those are people who want you fired, want you out of the way, so they can get their little drug habits going to turn that place into a zoo. Fall prey to even more stuff you hear on the news. That's something I'm trying to defend, help you folks stay safe from, not just news reporters. Care Bear cares exactly what that means. There are people who miss me right now want to give me a hug, not just choir at the church post. And everybody else, that I think about day and night while thinking about my little boy who's 7 in Florida. There are people out there, like I said, parent mothers who were just at a kitchen 24 hours ago would give anything to have someone cook them dinner other than themselves or coffee, that were just there 12 hours ago. I know how that feels. You're looking at a guy who's lucky if he even gets a phone call once in a while, maybe once a year, if I'm lucky. I don't even get a birthday invite. They do it like it's humorous. That's the lesson I learned from experience. For immigration won't happen again. I won't ever let anyone hurt my son like that. For an officer's son, and my parents look out for me. They're in Washington. They know about identity theft and credit protection and everything. I mean, I have presidents watching over my stuff. I know where to go when God needs me next, and like I said, life's a stepping stone. Jesus went through a crown of thorns, was born in a manger. He was lucky even to have hay. What makes you think that hay was clean? I mean, God bless these farmers out there who are trying to find ways to they open instead of shut down permanently. To wine growers, there's not a thing I wouldn't do for y'all, advice-wise, and it's like every other soldier out there, not just what you see in movies. And it takes a lot of integrity to sit here in front of millions and say, okay, well, let's see how the day went. We'll get through it one way or another. And thanks for the comments of y'all leaving on the upload part, that are very brightening and inspirational, especially those that I've experienced some way or another your life wise or stuff you've written. Keep them letters coming. I feel for kids who just arrived on base, new in town, don't like bullies, parents not around, they're deployed, being harassed at schools, and not just what you see on news. Uh, to being anti-bullying, a few pointers here, if someone's bothering you, to tell the teacher, that way they stop bothering you. Be kind, even if you don't get the same return. Kindness goes farther, kids. Much love. And stay in school, don't drop out. It's not worth it. You're almost there. Your parents have been paying for it. They could have spent that money on a car or a cruise. They didn't have to spend that on you. And teachers aren't mean. They're there to show you a guiding light, a better doorway than the one you've been through already. They're trying to show you the real world, because mommy and daddy can't hold your hand forever. When you turn 18, you'll understand this part. Like I did. I mean, sooner or later you're going to be like Superman. You want to spread your wings and fly off. Or whatever comic character you believe in. I mean, sooner or later you're going to want to live your life. I feel for the parents who just sold their house, trying to make sure you stay educated or wanting to help you buy your house. And that's a parent for you. That's a mom or dad's love. I mean, that's someone who creates a gift of God that just blessed you. Don't throw it away to drugs or stupidity. Live your life fully. And then at the same time, think about those kids in hospital beds I worked with, being in the medical field for years, knowing full well what I'm talking about, walking around with an iPad and talking to myself once in a while, and thinking of all those people that matter out there, that depend upon me for answers. Even veterans out of nowhere who need jobs. Hey, Sarge, do you know anything that's going on about that fair? I read in the paper. I always got time to talk to somebody and help them feel better about themselves. To helping them find something. It's not rocket science here. ElizabethTown is comfort to home. At least there's not jackhammering like some cities at 4 in the morning. I mean, walking distance to stuff. I even throw pointers to General Combs and everybody that, hey, why not bring a shuttle here that helps round up people that get on base and off base? That would help them get to work on time. I don't think using Xbox at the last minute for inspection and missing inspection is gonna work. Sarge used that one already. I get the 4 nights, 40 minutes safely. Tried it out. General Combs tries it out. They live over here. They keep an eye out for each other like everybody else. Navy, SEALs, Marines. Word travels. Sarge is living in Yale. Obviously, it's safe. He's living in Yale. Oh wait, he's growing tomatoes in the living room because he's thinking about that soldier who's hoping that his or her 5 kids don't go to bed starving after eating just potato chips tonight in Alaska somewhere. I even check on those who just left. I mean, I hope they got to their destination. Okay, I hope they're in school or have a plan, because God knows they're not alone in prayers, especially on their knees while praying. There's not a thing I wouldn't do for them, and I'll keep you on prayers too. Hang in there. Sometimes you gotta go where the jobs are, especially in certain MOS. Downsizing can be nerve-wracking, just like being in a new unit all over again. That happens even faster after deployment. You'd be expecting that, especially after reading the current Army Times, budget cuts here and there, people looking to slice, cut back, lay off. There's always someone looking to lay you off for anything, even stupid reasons. Uh, you need to hold your head high. Remember that you're someone, not nobody. Uh, that's come from somebody who's been through a lot of fudge cakes just for caring for you folks and feeling like that guy at the end of the day on that cross. Not, and that's not a humorous feeling with two grandmothers up in heaven, trust me. Especially for a nurse. And it's not something you do. It's an example I share of experiences. I'm that real. Well, I have nothing to lose yet so much to gain. You look at the next Joanne the Arc right here. Somebody who actually knows how to reach into you and help you better yourself and feel better with integrity and conviction and compassion for being one thing, a human being. We often overlook on ourselves. We're so hard on ourselves trying to better ourselves that we often forget that inner child that helped us get this far. Remember your parents, for those who have parents, and thank God for doing one thing, for giving you life. I say that with integrity and compassion and understanding to y'all. Real. The goal for nice Kentucky Stand. I thought I'd go over back page here. Ironic how generals come here because they know how I have a hard copy, not just the libraries. Sooner or later, mint condition. I'll try and keep them mint condition. Smithsonian, 90 Museum, the movie. Can't have all the things. Best keeping Washington important. Everybody else who watch me, not just reporters here locally. GMA, all them too. Anderson, Cooper, Bill, Rice. A few pointers here. And, making sure y'all up to date on chain of command, who's what and how. So, reading who got killed in action. It's not rocket science here, but I do it because I know it helps you feel better knowing that somebody cares about it, somebody read about you, and you're not just a face on a photo. That's a friend right there. Let's see here. Congressional Staff Delegation visits post. First Lieutenant Stephen Leon, Cadet Summer Training Cadre member, briefs the cooperation orders to the staff delegation members prior to the live fire exercise which they will participate. If y'all ever been to basic training, know what a live fire exercise does at night and day. Can be pretty darn nerve-wracking, especially if you never picked up a grenade or a rifle in your life. Carrying on from experience, two covers Energy Security Training Force Gone Missions by Rachel Tolliver, editors. Fort Knox hosted a congressional staff delegation made up of 12 members representing several congressmen August 3 or 4th. The purpose was to get familiarized with the Fort Knox, specifically the diverse missions for which the post is responsible, and the value the installation provides to the total Army. One of many installations I keep open to this day, vainly trying hard. I know when a mayor's in need of some kind of vote, and trust me, she don't gotta say another word staring me down. I do exactly that. I'm not all talk. Even in prayer, I'm always standing next to him. It's not easy running a city. God bless y'all. The visit has been interesting in that delegation has experienced the breadth and depth of Fort Knox. They received a windshield tour and much more. Explained Charlie Wilson, Cadet Command Deputy Chief of Staff for Senior Command Operations. The same soldier trying to keep you on board and keep them doors open, especially adopting humane society animals. What do you think happens to pets and puppies if they don't get adopted? They get put to sleep permanently. Not just what you see on the news. Real. They received windshield tour and much more, explained Charlie Wilson, Cadet Command's Deputy Chief of Staff for Senior Command Operations. Have learned about the Army Reserve Component mission is placed on Fort Knox and the pack to the state. They have also been briefed on the Humane Capital mission of Humane Resources Command, a variety of human resources service provided by the Army, as well as briefing on U.S. Army Forces Command missions on Knox. And with tomorrow's Army leaders being trained at Fort Knox today, the delegation was able to see just how important Cadet Command's cadet level training is there to their development. Another key component that was shared with this contingent was the Fort Knox Garrison Command. How operations installations can be compared to small cities, and garrison commands are compared to the mayor's offices of those cities. The Fort Knox Garrison Command is considered a model across the force on how to operate installation as seen by the silver. Reading on. Congressional Tour Cadet Award is recently received as an Army Community of Excellence Installation Service. Part of being considered an excellent community, the delegation learned as was the how installation navigation, a popular shift to include losing a brigade combat, how the post was able to find a way to keep housing filled with how it's achieved full energy independence. Specifically, members of the Fort Knox Energy team highlighted the Tracer Automation Control Center that monitors space through the installation for energy efficiency and control. Through this monitor is able to identify potential havoc issues and fix its correct problems, then help reduce an inefficiency. Another part of the program is harvesting methane gas and turning it into energy using a fixed energy substation. The program as a whole was an achievement not overlooked by members of the delegation. One of the things I found fascinating was learning of the total energy independence capabilities to be totally off the grid. And Eric Landis, the military legislative assistant for U.S. representatives in Bar, Kentucky District 06. In 2009, we experienced a major ice storm that basically shut the base and the state of leadership here has developed a system at Fort Knox that should be a national model of DoD and other installations across the U.S. The program, which came online in 2015, an example of how other installations can do safely work in reducing their carbon footprints and save millions of dollars, as Fort Knox has done. One of the takeaways for me was energy, said Melissa Bookin, the legislative assistant for U.S. Representative at Whitefield, Kentucky District 01. Our congressman is the chairman of Energy, and it's so fascinating to know that Fort Knox can go completely off the grid. The tour of the post, its various components, also allowed the delegation to experience elements of cadet summer training, which was such events like Fort Knox CST in the Army's largest training exercise and has a significant role in the development of cadets and involves many moving parts to include intricate logics explaining the member of the tour were also briefed on the importance of the CST program to the Army, as well as the significant benefits to the local community. The delegation will spend 2 days at Fort Campbell following this visit touring their installation, learning how its role in the Army is placed in Kentucky. Back to School Expo focused on try. Want to make sure parents and children understand the proper amount of sleep, enough activity, and good nutrition combined to impact their overall health and performance during school years. Just started school enrollment. Make sure their immunization's up to date. Measles, flu, going around winter time. Stock up on Walgreens supplies. Keep it out of children's way. Toddler, infant drops, diapers. Never know when a fever comes in to strike unannounced. That would happen in any daycare or kindergarten, preschool, middle school, high school even. That someone touched, got a hold of, all of a sudden you have a cold that you didn't want from them, and all of a sudden the whole house is sick. Amazing what Clorox wipes could have done, huh? Versus football. I think football can wait. Get your hunt parts up the gosh darn sofa. March your hunt parts to the nearest clinic. Get that kid squared away. Don't say that one's not coming with your colonel, boss, whoever, because you failed to take care of that kid. Oh, wait. Pray to God you didn't leave them in front of a car or inside a car for the next hour, huh? Because you got careless or lost at the mall. Hopefully they know that rule, huh? Go to the control station, customer service desk, and ask for your parents. Mom, dad, got lost. So-and-so waiting for you right here. It'll be all right. Trust me from experience, you'll be okay. Much love to you kids out there. I got some of y'all's letters and one more thing. Jacob, Yeah, it was Jacob. 9 years old. Why mommy and daddy fighting after coming home back from war? Let me tell you, if you're born as kids. Mom, dad fight for reasons sometimes they gotta have a little peace of mind. Sometimes they gotta go for a little walk. You think you're alone in that area? Let me tell you, if you're born, you're not alone. It's not your fault. Don't take it wrong if daddy comes out of nowhere and yells at you because he had a bad day. It's not easy him wearing that uniform, and it's sure as heck not easy for your mom or somebody else's mom being in uniform either. Now you hang in there, and I'll tell you what, good things come to those that wait. Patience is a virtue. I know that's kind of hard for you to understand at your age. My son's only 7. He's just a kid, toddler, jumping around, experiencing life, playing like Winnie the Pooh and dirt with G.I. Joes and Transformers not far, like I used to do as a kid. Trust me, it's not easy growing up sometimes, and sometimes you just gotta hang in there. Things will get better. I hope to God they do, because if your dad really loves you very much, he's not gonna come home having a bad day on you again. That's for sure. There are peers out there who know how he feels. Helps talk about it before coming home, trust me. Or they can park their hind parts over here and walk and knock on this door, and I'd be happy to tell you a few pointers on life. It's not rocket science. We'll get through it one way or another. I know some of you could use somebody to vent with, and you had a bad day. Gosh darn, nobody cares feeling. Care chaos, I wouldn't be having this discussion. I know your parents are going through a lot. Sometimes it's over money, sometimes over having to budget themselves a little better, to getting you clothes for next winter, to persevering their lives better. Sometimes when things don't work out, you watch that Miss Doubtfire movie, you'll feel better too. By Robin Williams. You ever seen Miss Doubtfire? It's kind of like that kind of feeling, huh? Don't worry, that's coming from a guy with a psychology degree. He knows exactly how that feels sometimes with kids. Adolescents, things get a little uneasy. Being new in town, not many friends, trying to make friends. Oh wait, dad gets another rank, gotta move to another station again, all over. I know it's not easy, but you hang in there, alright? I know sometimes you go to bed crying because you can't understand why daddy being so mean to you. You ain't alone, kid. I know millions of kids out there. Trust me, you're not alone. I've experienced that myself. There are times my dad was stern to me. Clear the garage wasn't a highlight of his afternoon as a starting point in Washington. Okay, keeping us safe and caring for us all them years. I thought he lost his dang mind half the time, sending me to bed over Star Wars Return of the Jedi. What did I show him who grabbed the remote afterwards, huh? Still rebel with a cause. I mean, there's not one thing I haven't experienced as a kid, ever. And trust me, you ain't alone. You hold your head on, keep smiling. Sooner or later, you're going to make friends. Things will be okay. Things always work out. Even when they don't, and mom and dad may have to move out and separate, that doesn't mean it's the end of the world here. That means that your mom and dad are trying to better themselves, even start a new job or career. I feel for the one who doesn't plan on being married to the military for the next 30 years, or doing the same thing Johnny and JoJo next door are doing for the next 20 years. They didn't plan on being chained to a desk. That's the life of the military till you get out. You leave exactly how you get out. You came in. I mean, when you're 18, you'll understand, like that Transformer movie. It takes something to know something, or We Were Soldiers movie. It's like, a stepping stone of life. At least your mom and dad love you. I know that much. Because they're going through a lot just to be next to you. You hang in there, kid. Remember one thing, no tears shed alone. Alright? Watch your health. Be kind to your friends next to you in school. You'd be amazed how far that gets you. A lot farther than someone who doesn't care how you feel. But steps. Carry on a conversation. Next article here. Waiting on. Changing our culture and helping people live healthier lives also means saving health care dollars. Longnecker said the expo is a program offered by Operation Homefront, and Longnecker was able to participate in that event, which corresponds with a back-to-school campaign currently going on at Fort Knox. Longnecker said it is a great opportunity and venue to educate parents on healthy living, especially concerning children. We are on the right in the middle of a back-to-school campaign at Fort. By the way, General Valesky did that. I had a vision of that die-hard black copy I have. I always have copies of everything y'all post on GM's bulletin boards. Die-hard copy of the feeding program, Don't Starve Kids program after school, open school. Little shindig needs to keep going. I think there's some soldiers out there who could get their kids to that chow hall in time before going to bed versus eating potato chips that don't have vitamin A for winter. Who don't understand the high and fine points until they see my video. Why planting vegetables in your living room in pots would be in order versus starving like the good old days of their parents. Interesting how that starts to click. If Sarge is growing corn in his front yard, what's that tell you? He doesn't plan on starving for the winter, huh? Leading by example, that's a real friend. God bless them farmers out there who feed America, not just in cornflakes and every other cereal brand I keep open and employed for businesses, not just wineries. Much love to y'all out there. Deepest respect. Especially those who want to keep going or need a prayer and keeping their land and don't want to be thrown off their land because their produce didn't sell enough or whatever caused them to have a fallout in front of the dinner table. You know, I feel for a farmer who has to choose starve or refinance, hope to God it works, or be kicked off my land because I couldn't pay in time. You know, there are a lot of things people go through stress-wise, and trust me, it's even harder when you have kids in the middle and you're not alone. That's from a single dad who knows exactly how that feels, and trying vainly hard to show you a few pointers. It's never too late to start over. It don't matter what age you are. My grandmother, a 93-year-old nurse, wouldn't sit in one wheelchair without checking on 800 beds. You get me? Okay, good. Because the next person that walks through a hallway in a hospital might be me right there with a teddy bear in hand looking at so-and-so Sally Sue or little Diane who's age 6 with cancer here and didn't ask for it, or hepatitis C because someone forgot to clean themselves with diaper issues. Hence, clean up after your incontinent mess. I'm not incontinent and don't appreciate it. You know, it's everywhere at times, not just at public parks. You know, it's stuff that needs to be wiped down and controlled. If you go to the other side of this world, there are people a lot more stern, trust me. Things are changing. If you want things to get harder instead of easier, you need to clean up after yourself. That child did not ask for your Hep C program. Laying terminally ill in some hospital, it's not humorous. You took part in that. You need to think a little harder. Not worth causing someone a death sentence because they didn't have a Hep C shot in time. Being sprayed by some diaper mess. Think very hard for that child. The next time you go out at church, parks, what have you, you're incontinent, you drinking too much of that dang soda nonsense, that's what causes it. Ginger ale's a lot better. Any resident building will tell you that. Ginger ale every time. You know why? Because it doesn't cause too much side effects. Yeah, you gotta watch the sugar like everything else, but at least it don't turn your insides and rot it out. Think about it. Drink water, even better. I mean, health program here. Flu going around, watch your fingernails, your hands, it helps to wash your hands at public places, not just at schools. You'd be amazed what you're touching under a desk. And that's for that, to spraying Lysol all over the classroom, that helps too. You'd be amazed how much germs Lysol takes out in the blink of an eye. Not just watching some scary movie for the Halloween. Coming up. Sarge's birthday is what month? Yeah, I'll keep that in prayers. Not this month, I'll tell you that. It's coming. For a Scorpion, I get around. And for a single dad, it's not easy being the strong one all the time. You have to forgive me if I haven't had a hug in years. I've been single for the last 7 counting years. That 7 years deployment from my son. 7 years I can't take back, can't get back. I'm there for him. I get treated like crap for it. Like it's humorous or something, and it's not, to a grandmother up there who knows better. And life goes on. Here I am dating women, and it's like, I have better things to do than be stalked by some fraud lunatic harassing me the wrong way because she has a life of crime and thinks it's cute for spreading hate instead of accepting the fact that this guy cares for folks. And I don't appreciate people following me around on ceilings, what have you, trying to spread their little bigot hate. They're using something called voice chips. That needs to be dealt with. If it's surviving a bathtub, how are they still doing it? Obviously, they installed some kind of speaker stuff in people's cars and stuff. It needs to be stopped. That's not something a soldier should go to work with while someone's using someone's voice to spread their little hatred, mumbling program. Whether it's in their car, their home, their house. It's a legal listening device, and it needs to be removed. They need to be fined for installing it, fined for harassing that person, fined for harassing that death, period. I wouldn't tolerate that for you. Sure as hell wouldn't tolerate it for the person next to you. It's called harassment, period. If you see me on base and someone's harassing this dad the wrong way, you need to get out that cell phone, press video, record their face, turn them into the cops, the local authorities, and have them dealt with. They don't know me, obviously, at all, or they wouldn't be talking bad about me. They have no business doing that. It's titled harassment, plain and simple. Don't fall for it. We read the Pontus Pilot Dummy manual on these folks. Chances are they got a criminal record miles long. They're off post jealous of the fact you're on base. Who do you think's defending all you when you get out of the military and you're back in veteran clothes? Civilian life. I'm trying to keep you all safe. I'm showing you a pretty picture how it is when you get out. Remember that the next time you cross my path. Clear? Yeah, outstanding. Like I said, I don't have time for jealousy, bigots. I have time for friends and what matters. That's from somebody who brings balance to everything else in the world. God bless all those out there in other countries. And don't sit there and think for 1 second there won't be someone representing a whole country that won't hesitate to knock because she doesn't want to see another person jump out of skyscraper at the end of the day on her list of what to do for the day. Trust me, she's not going to hesitate to come calling one day. It'd be prudent to say I'm not needed on the other side of this planet. When I am, I'm there for y'all in prayers, support, night, day, even trying to throw you a few points on how to survive the next century, not just the kids. Mostly for the kids. That's why I care so much. Carrying on. Guard says thank you to civilian employees. Fort Knox hosts 138th FA training, ESGR visit, meet and greet by Staff Sergeant Scott Raymond, winning National Guard soldier or airmen service their 1 weekend a month and 2 weeks in the summer. They are considered a traditional guardsmen, with the overwhelming majority of Kentucky guardsmen falling into that category. Hundreds of employers across the Commonwealth are included in extending the guard family during ceremonies to welcome home, promote, or war guardsmen. We always hear the common gratitude to families for sharing their loved ones with the guard, but it's also a familiar acknowledgement to the employers and businessmen that also supported the Kentucky citizen soldiers. As a thank you to such military-friendly employers, Kentucky Employer Support of the Guard and Reserve held a Day with the Troops event, July 22nd, commonly referred to as Boss Lift. Such events provide employers and civic leaders the opportunity to see firsthand what Kentucky Guardsmen and their employees do when they are off work. More than 30 representatives from local agencies and businesses from Lexington to Bowling Green flew by Black Hawk helicopter at Fort Knox, Kentucky, and Window H. Ford Regional Training Center in Greenville, Kentucky, for the up-close view of National Guard training. The ESGR Boss Lift program is essential in helping employers and community leaders understand that our citizen soldiers do it while in uniform, said retired Army Brigadier General Mike Ritchie, support specialist with Kentucky. ESGR most develop a deep appreciation for the dedication and sacrifice required to serve in the military. Also an opportunity to thank them for contribution to our nation's defense by employing and supporting our service members. Soldiers with 138th Field Brigade were the first to play host to the ESGI group at Fort Knox, Kentucky, and General Major General Edward Tawney joined Lieutenant Colonel Robert Larkin, Commander 138th, in greeting the civilians. God bless you, sir. And greeting the civilians in the field environment. The 138th was occupied in annual training. The employers met with the artillery soldiers, toured their tactical operations center and vehicles, and witnessed a live fire exercise by the United Unit's M109 Paladins. One of the Paladin crew members was Sergeant First Class James Hatfield, a fireman with the Bardstown Fire Department. God bless you all over there. 9/11 supporter right here. And everybody else in New York. He has been me uniform before, but never in the field, never in the atmosphere. I'm sure his perspective will probably change a little bit. And Hatfield telling someone what you do is one thing, but when they see you, the environment you do it, a completely different story. It's hard for them to get that visual. It means a lot. He came out here, Hatfield added, we are super busy at work, and for him to take the time to see what I do, be part of it, and to have a boss care enough to want to know what we do is pretty awesome. Hatfield has spent 21 years in the military uniform and 14 years as a fireman. The balance worked for him, but no, some people still believe that guardsmen just get a couple extra days off each month. Employers on these boss lifts can see firsthand this isn't a vacation. Out here, it's good quality training. For some things we do might have to go down the road. However, Howard said he has a small and close department, so everyone knows each other pretty well. For hearing and seeing are two different things. He has great employees, and I kind of knew that what he did outside work, but until you boots on the ground with him, stand there beside with the equipment he works with is an unbelievable moment. Howard, it's a great to know and see that training they get here, they take it back to their community. I really appreciate everything the God has done to make us feel welcome into all this. It's been very nice and educational. It's in addition to that visit with our 130th employees and civic leaders travel to Kentucky Guard primary training facility in Greenville to see members of the 103rd Chemical Company during search and rescue training, and soldiers with the 108th Signal Company conducting vehicle rollover training. Chief Keith Jackson has a neat view of the day as he spent 27 years in the military now, and that Lexington Fire Department chief returns to training fields to see Larkin, his friend and fellowship fireman, expressed the pride he has for Larkin and the accomplishments he continues to guard, knows the sights and sounds will have an impact on the other employers. I think today has opened their eyes what truly a citizen soldier is, he said. and they see what the service members can offer, not only to the country but to the average American citizen. For more information, ESGR, visit www.esgr.com. Excuse me, .mil and www.kentucky.org for more information. Kentucky ESGR program. That's him right here. God bless him on. Moving on. Reading what the pastor was talking about. I'll post little inspirational soul news here. I think that's important for somebody who cares about you. Give food to those who are hungry, even when we have little to give. Sound familiar? Hence Sarge growing his own crops. Farmville, the game on Facebook. Can't have all the fun here. By Chaplain Captain Bernardino Yebra, leading by example. Somebody can show you newbies how to farm something other than starve and eat nothing but junk for the winter, versus somebody trying to budget with 6 kids in the payroll here who need something to keep that kid safe and healthy while hoping to God they don't get sick all year long, huh? Hence, stock up on stuff. Make sure your kids are looked after. Think about your parents, what they did for you. Don't take your frustrations on your kids. That's not what they want. They need you. They need your love, your friendship. They need you, like, now. By Chaplain Captain Bernardino Yebra, not just the lecture you get from your boss when you don't. Don't say and say that was coming. Catholic community chaplain, the Lord is gracious. There's not a friend that wouldn't tell you my son is always put first. You don't see me touch beer, squat, nothing. I sit there and think about all them years my dad, Air Force dad, officer dad was there for me. Trust me. You learn very quickly. The Lord is good to all, compassionate toward all his works. Psalm 145-8 through 9, Nabri. Psalm 145 reminds me of the gospel story about Jesus feeding of the multitude when he was commanded his disciples, give them some food yourselves. Matthew 14-16b, Nabri. The gospel story echoes what the Apostle says about God's goodness. God provides for our needs. In a very scenic setting, Jesus had disembarked in a lonely place and found himself surrounded by a crowd of poor people. Who followed him there, carrying their sick with them in the secret hope of finding in him the much needed assistance. The Lord was moved with pity for them, and he cured their sick. Out there in Psalm 14, he cured them without being asked for them. Bringing their sick to a distant place was itself a display of unspoken. Was in itself a display of unspoken expression of faith. The gracious and unmerciful God, who is compassionate towards all his works, has been manifested to us in the person of Jesus Christ. Psalm 145-8 through 9 is not simply a description of who God is, but also a call to participate in building a family of mankind, imbued with God's compassion and kindness. After curing their sick, Jesus appears to provide no more help. Give them some food yourselves. He said, what do the disciples think when they bear these words? Let us take a close look at the Gospels of Matthew. When it was evening, the disciples approached Jesus and said, this is their place, and already late dismissed the crowd so that they can go to villages and buy food for themselves. Jesus said to them, there is no need for them to go away. Give them some food yourselves. Isaiah 15-16, where the disciples give food. The command must have seemed impossible and absurd to them. Jesus' command leads us to a deeper understanding of what God's compassion is. But Jesus had a simple and more compassionate solution, not to send them away to buy something, but to provide personally for them. His command was, you give them something to eat. They had only 5 loaves and 2 fish. They need only to land them hand them over to Jesus to see them multiplied, not 100, but 1,000 times. He said, the blessing broke the loaves and gave them to his disciples, who in turn gave them to the crowds. They all ate and were satisfied. Two simple truths were learned from Psalm 145 and the Gospel of Matthew. One, even if because of our own limitations and power we can do little to help our brothers and sisters, God wants us to do the best we can do fully and wholeheartedly and be himself, and we'll take care of that multiplying. I recall my mother would always put the sign of the cross on the newly cooked rice and say the following words of the blessing. Mubasag man looked yon, dalawas sakod yan espirito. A Filipino dialect for me, this food satisfy hunger both in body and spirit. By God's loving providence, despite the poverty in my child, Mabusamang lagudad yan lawasagat yan espiritu. Y'all get that over there, family? Okay, good. By hunger both in body and spirit, by God's loving providence, despite the poverty in my childhood, give me your prayers always. By God's loving providence, despite the poverty in my church, my blessing came true on a daily basis. Those who follow God's prospect reality find God's everything they need, both for their life on earth and for their eternal life to come. God provides, but he desires everyone to assume the attitude of a passionate giver, to give without counting the cost, to give readily, unconditionally in times of need, without waiting for other people to do the providing. Sometimes our conscience tells us to give the person who needs some food yourself, yes, you, and not the church, not your parish outreach program, not the army helping hands, nor any nearby charitable agency give the person some providing yourself. Perhaps there is a sick family member or elderly parent who needs your care or simple visit, hence why killing yourself ain't it here. Another good reason to think about them. Need your time on your money now. Perhaps you feel being called to serve your church. God desires the world to be touched by his great kindness with our human hands. However, one many may resist. I can't even take care of myself. How do you can expect me to provide for someone else? I'm so busy I have bills to pay. How do you expect me to do something extraordinary? Often God's response to such questions come in a manner that one cannot even imagine and anticipate. To answer the call to build a family of mankind that is infused with God's compassion and kindness, first one must love the things of heaven. St. John Christopher prayed, O Lord, make us love the great gifts of the Spirit. Then you will give us the rest of well and abundance. Gifts the rest of us well and abundance. Let us not place our desires on temporal goods, but rather be completely indifferent, neither possessing them or losing them. Let us learn to use temporal riches wisely, helping those in need. May this be our prayers, and strive to fill the world with God's love. Yeah, remember that now. God wants us to do the best we can do fully and wholeheartedly. Courtesy by Captain Bernardino Yebra. Yebra. Also, caring about not just Jim and everybody else I support, and keeping prayers of their families and everybody down to the cadre, them damsels when they come over. Y'all need to understand, Kibber is Pacific time, so if I don't wake up, don't hold a grudge. God knows General's been trying once in a while to surprise me, but not cadre division over here. We still got IHOP, Denny's, China Buffet, or some kind of crash pad afterwards to relax and chill out. At least to try. Don't say I wasn't there for you numerous times at the flag. God knows sometimes I'm there walking through a whole neighborhood with a Bible in hand, trying to cheer someone up, or puppy powers right next to me. Trust me, I get around fast. Like Matrix levels. When you're looking for me, you can't find me. When you're not looking for me, I come out of nowhere. Would you prefer tree level? I do that Tom Huckleberry fan look. Many y'all going around in circles looking for me, and I'm sitting right here. I want to know that. Breathing on. Wait. James Bond can't have it up. Veterans recount World War II experiences. 83rd ID visits Knox North from USA ARRTC Commander by Lieutenant Colonel Debbie Lipscomb, 83rd USARRTC. God bless you, World War II veterans and everybody else I support all over the world. The 83rd Infantry Thunderbolt Divisional Association and its World War II Veterans and Families United in Louisville, July 29th to August 1st for their 69th reunion. 93 of its members visited the redesignated 83rd United States Army Reserve Readiness Training Center, 83rd USARRTC, July 3rd. The 83rd ID World War II veterans received a warm welcome and were recognized by 83rd USARRTC Commander Colonel Nelson Irazere, Command Sergeant Major Robert Swift, staff, faculty, and students for their past contributions to European theaters of operations during World War II. From April 1944 to May 1945, and their continued support for the men and women serving in uniform today, the 83rd ID Association received an exceptional greeting thoroughly enjoyed the presentation by 83rd USARRTC was impressed by the logistics setup and thought Captain Teresa Gunn was an awesome greeter, said Joe Osnold, son-in-law to World War II veteran Francis Markins. Their dedication, service, and support is a constant reminder to everyone of the brave sacrifice made while assigned to the 83rd Infantry Division in support of the fight across Europe. As an example of those sacrifices made, Edith Krieger recalled how my husband was sent as a replacement to Foxtrot Company 331st Infantry Regiment, 83rd Infantry Division, fought in the Hürtingen Forest and fractured his skull. And PFC Vincent Bremer called his time walking the hedgerows in Europe. God bless you. We wore our boots several days at a time, and the soles of our feet felt like plywood. He explained the treatment involved soaking our feet for a couple of hours in purple solutions called potassium permanate. The 83rd idea was activated for a second time during World War II on August 15, 1942 at Camp Atterbury, Indiana, before the division deployed to England and the northern part of Wales for intensive training. It's further deployed to 5 other European locations joining the fight and was awarded World War II battle streamers with inscriptions for its participation at Normandy, northern France, Ardennes, Allis, Central Europe, and Rhineland. The courage and determination of that generation of warriors was exemplified by soldiers such as Sergeant Ralph Nepel, who received the nation's highest honor, the Medal of Honor. Was awarded on December 14, 1944 for heroic actions as leader of his machine gun squad holding down the village of Burgel, Germany, and Lieutenant Samuel Michael, who was awarded the Legion of Merit in August 1945 for his leadership and action leading up to the surrender of German Major General Estrich Elser and 20,000 soldiers under his charge in September 1944. A special tribute to the 83rd ID Association veterans and family members attended the special World War II flag presentation. During the war, U.S. flag was handmade by internees of the Langston concentration camp and made available for viewing from moving forward to its final display of the Holocaust Museum in Washington. Mary Fletch, daughter of World War II veteran Sergeant Donald Hall, signed to service company 33rd Infantry Regiment, 83rd Infantry Division, rarely spoke to his children about the war, said Fletch, but after family discussions regarding their favorite World War II member, Hall's son Dave mentioned of how the beat of old flag Dad brought home from the war was going to be thrown away. Once was too painful or too awful for her father to speak. Now it needs to be talked about, said Fletch. It needs to be remembered so that a tragedy of this scope can never happen again. God bless y'all, World War II veterans. By the way, there is a canned food drop at St. James. Y'all need to drop that off when you get a chance. So homeless blankets. Remember, those people are veterans sometimes out there. They didn't ask to be homeless, but they would appreciate a warm blanket. You got that? That's from a real friend right here. Sarge made it on $20 years ago in another new state. What's your excuse? Anybody can get a roof over there, not just watching movies or sports. Patient, God knows the good Lord provides when you call upon Him. Y'all hang in there out there on the street. You got that? Okay, good. You know you're not alone and you're not the last. That's a friend right there providing a blanket. Trying to help you get blankets, even help you keep fed instead of starving. Newport Aquarium hosts Faith Weekend September 19th through 20th. Join our Faith Weekend at the Newport Aquarium September 19th through 20th. Exclusive offer for member families, friends, and any faith organization. Enjoy the day in a fun, unique, climate-controlled environment. Everyone in the family will have an unforgettable experience. Place your order before September 16th because this special group rate will now apply to walk-up ticket purchase. Tickets will be held at the Faith Weekend registration table for pickup day of our visit. For special ticket pricing information, call 859-815-1423. Some of the additional exciting experiences of Faith Weekend include Take Backstage Animal Experience, extra fee, pre-register. Just one more thing to see it do. Newport Aquarium, there's also my favorite at Smokeville, Dolly Parton, Dollywood.com. They got something for kids, roller coaster rides, hotels, all kinds of stuff out there for you and your families to go see Dolly and her serious town. So thank you. Much love to y'all there in Gettysburg and everybody Smokeville out there, especially the little village. I care about y'all a great deal. I've been holding y'all in prayer since the day I arrived. There's not a day and night that don't go by that I don't keep you all standing next to you in prayer. You get me? Okay, good. And watch your health at the same time. Stay hydrated. I'll be around. It's when you miss me most, I show up out of nowhere. I always had that gift since birth. Always bring a smile to someone. Take a backstage animal experience, extra fee, must pre-register. Just one more new thing to see and do at Newport Aquarium. Led by a seasonal animal experience specialist, your 45-minute backstage animal experience show allow you to see your giant sharks, tanks, coral reef tank in the Amazon River. Tank from the top. Visitors will see our new jellyfish nursing the ever-changing tanks. They also learn all about our divers, veterinary labeled quality lab, our animals healthy, and additionally purchasing well, at least how we feed animals and what we do, prepare them to travel or move from tank to tank. Your tour will include a hands-on meeting with one of the animals from our public education collection, backstage dynamic working environment, so you never know what you will see. Each tour is unique and filled with new discoveries from desert divers and fenced animals transport. Get up close and personal with a penguin count. Extra fee must pre-register. Visitors are invited inside the Penguin House, the backstage home of African penguins. During this exclusive 20-minute encounter, participants will talk with one of our animal experience specialists who handle these adorable birds. Watch up close to penguin models. Wiggle and shake their tails. You get to take pictures of these penguins and make even touch one. These penguins are from a temperate environment, so no coats are needed. And y'all remember these restaurants that I get their flyers. China Buffet, they got a lunch special. Y'all go see them. I tried them out on West Lincoln Trail, that's right. North Woodland Drive, there you go. Louisville, there's the Manhattan Restaurant on Liberty. Can't miss it. It's not far from the main center attraction of KFC Center and everything else. That's the address, telephone number. There you go. Even Denny's, right here in Elizabethtown. Can't go wrong. Cherokee and everything else. Gotti's Restaurante on the other side of Lincoln, other side of West Lincoln Trail, there's an Italian restaurant there on the other side of Pitta Pie. So you over there, it's IHOP, I keep you employed, and Players, and every other restaurant that's along that street. I mean, it helps to try new things. You know, you gotta have a flavor for food. It's nice to cook, you know, and at the same time, it's nice to have someone make it for you. Town Square Mall, they got restaurants in there too. God bless them, keeping that mall going and everybody else. God knows. Everybody needs some kind of pills, not just Pizza Hut and everybody else. Papa John's, Louisiana, and everybody else. Carrying on. Sports. Let's see what's going on in sports section. Diversity in baseball exhibits open in Cincinnati. Panel quote by MLB Hall of Fame Sandy Koufax, who played by Brooklyn Los Angeles Dodgers from 1955 to 1966. You see that right there? Now, ain't that a photo? Yeah. God bless those years there in Babe Ruth. Those are legends. Being the sports, go Yankees. Barrier-breaking baseball stars come to life by Katrina Francis. Senior staff writer, baseball has been America's pastime since the 1800s, however. Joe Pen Cup, y'all. Supporting all them. Every other historic museum in the U.S., around the world. Clay was sometimes an afterthought by his owners and some players. It would take 76 years before Jackie Robinson broke the color line in baseball, where he became the first African American to play in the major leagues. Prior to that time, African Americans played in the Negro League. On June 26th, the National Underground Railroad Freedom Center in Cincinnati opened the Diversity in Baseball exhibit to tell the story of Celebrate Baseball Game Changers. The exhibit will run until September 12th, focusing on players with various backgrounds, ethnicities, challenges and barriers, and how they overcome. To the game more inclusive. Jamie Glavitt. I'd like to see y'all read all that. I just see it in the last 5 hours. 20 times backwards. Good luck. That's that. What is it? Team after coach. Howard Stern, a brother from Jim Long, could have said that better. Followed by Mr. Get Her Done on CMT. Jamie Gilbeck, the museum director of marketing and communications, said it was vowed that they showcase the exhibit because Cincinnati was the home of the first professional team, the Cincinnati Red Stockings, formed in 1869. There is a rich history. Since as far as social progression in sports explained, Galabic baseball has really led the way in efforts like breaking the color barrier when we had the Negro Leagues, which weren't getting as much attention shared. Some people are to wear the teams in the Negro League, such as the Kansas City Monarchs, which was just one of the teams with enormous talent, a player who has been in Tony Stone, who was the first woman who played for the Negro League. Galabic, we have actors who come in here several times a week, and they portray Hank Greensburg, Tony Stone, Jackie Robinson, Robert Clemente. Tony Stone tells the story about when she was up on bat against Satchel Paige and hit the ball. You're able to connect with these actors because they became prominent historic figures to life by telling their baseball story. Glavick pointed out that the exhibit is also for the youngest crowd who might not be aware baseball was a way for former players to break down barriers and bring attention to American society. From those who did extraordinarily have a voice, yet that Clement opened doors for Latin American players who are now the majority of players in the MLB, which wasn't the case before he played. We really hope that stories will inspire young people. She said if they think they can accomplish something, they can look at all these baseball legends and say they opened doors for me, so I can do this now and maybe open doors for someone else. Glad added that she believes that people visited now about Clement and his baseball players, about also humanitarian it was those efforts that led to his untimely death in a plane crash in Nicaragua, where he was delivering emergency relief in the islands to the capital city after it was hitting an earthquake. She said that the actor who portrays Clemente is excited to tell you about his baseball story and what that status brought to him as a person and paved the ways for him to give back to others. Asia Johnson, the museum's public relations and social media coordinator, said the exhibit weaved together the stories of diverse players and also focuses on the Cuban players who were Afro-Latin. People who dealt with multiple levels of discrimination. Another part of the exhibit tells the story of Robinson, the actor who portrays him, to talk about how he is a multi-athlete who excelled in baseball, which was the least talented poor player, which accompanied to his actors also explained why Robinson was chosen to be the first because he wasn't the best player and the best athlete in baseball at that time. Robinson was chosen because he was the strongest player who could handle the insults they climate. The exhibit also tells the story of other forms of inequality, such as women not being allowed to play in MLB. Major League Baseball, the absence of Muslim players, or how there aren't any openly gay players currently playing in the league. But that changed when Sean Conroy plays in the minor league recently came out in his museum well in his panel to exhibit. There were also discrimination in MLB against those who had disabilities. MLBL broadcasting legend Ed Lucas conducted his first broadcast interview in 1957, which really made his stories unique because Lucas, his blind players, wouldn't talk to him because of his disability. What could he know? What could he ask the Glad about what players didn't want to talk to him? Players who didn't interview with him were players who had their own bears. Although there aren't any women playing in MLB, said that Mitch Change said there is a speculation that Melissa Malvis, 19-year-old shortstop in France, will be offering a contract once she's 18 years old. If that happens, she said, will be the first woman to play MLB. Johnson said that diversity is key to continuing because the game never stops. She pointed out that the America's pastime has expanded in the last 40 years and now being accepted on a global scale. There is still work to be done. There are barriers we have left to break. Johnson said the more we reach out to kids to share these stories, the easier it will be for them to make their own way. The National Underground Railroad Freedom Center is located at 50 East Freedom Way, Cincinnati. For more information, call 513-333-7739 or visit the center's website, freedomcenter.org. Fourth annual basketball camp concludes. Keys to basketball held weekend-long basketball camp to empower you with the knowledge of skills needed to succeed in life by using. During the week of July 13th to 17th, Keys to Basketball CEO and founder Anthony Richardson, along with volunteers, hosted its fourth annual basketball skills camp. The organization's mission that went successfully that month with the knowledge and skills needed to succeed in life through the utilization of basketball campus field. Pitcher Community Center in Elizabethtown, Kentucky, nightly to be a part of the community event. The highlight of the camp including instruction, fundamentals of baseball, sportsmanship, drill, teamwork, and daily competitions. Guest speaker Carter Dyson of Elizabethtown, God bless y'all, spoke to the campus about being a team player and executive leadership. Dyson also discussed the importance of sportsmanship, displaying the right attitude and off the court. The camp concluded with an award ceremony and recognized the individuals for their dedication to child. Campers were recognized for outstanding participants and for being competition winners. Coaches and volunteers were recognized for their overall support, hard work, and dedication. Now y'all remember perseverance and integrity go a long way, so does compassion and understanding. If you're rude to someone next to you, you think they're gonna like you afterwards, gonna hand you a cup pile of tulips and flowers, gonna decorate your desk, huh? Y'all need to remember one thing, kindness goes farther than life, than some selfish SOB, fudge cakes, or chef salad. Y'all need to remember that, okay? Because people aren't going to remember someone selfish for the rest of their life even when you get out. They're going to remember someone who goes that extra mile and stands next to God. They're going to remember that guy who saved your life on the firefight versus that someone who tucked tail and ran off when all hit the fan. They're going to remember that guy who actually cared for you and remembered to call you, hey, friend, instead of someone looking at you like you're just another dust cloud in the wind in some little sand dune all covered up in mud because you're sitting there serving your country and you're covered in rifle, and that makes you less of a human being, right? Wrong. That's a friend right there trying to save someone's life. Give a taste of freedom, a taste of America. You remember that veteran that used to serve next to you now living on the street trying to make ends meet because they're trying to keep a job and hold on to everything else that matters? That's a decent human being. Even if they're working at Burger King, at least they got a job. At least they're holding on to that job because they're waiting for something better to move up in. They may be doing something engineer, they were an engineer, doctor, veteran, nurse practitioner, some teacher, their new teacher training sites. Check out your local community college for that information. UK even. There are always some school that's nationally accreditable. That's what that is for. That will save you a home pause and further your education into the future. Or in looking up at Career Builder, Monster.com, even your local news classifieds, not just reading the Enterprise and every other company I keep employed around here in Elizabethtown that I care about, while fending off military bigots, offenders, and the works who don't live at my house. I do. I'm the one living here, holding the fort, who keep everybody safe around here like everybody else. Neighbors look out for neighbors. Neighbors don't let people break into people's homes, dawn hours or nighttime. Neighbors don't allow perverts on a roof. There's not supposed to be anybody up there anyway, not without my permission. And by the way, Care Bear Cares means exactly that, especially theaters. Some of y'all getting real budget cut this time of year. Y'all need to hang in there to restaurants. I know it's not easy doing the good Lord's work, but somebody got to, and here I am. Take it or leave it. That my parents always said, and here I am caring about everybody around the world. By the way, people, farmers, y'all need to back off on that insecticide spray. You need to find something environmental friendly. Sir, ma'am, that insect spray ain't evaporating. It's sinking into your water supply. You ever seen Aaron Brockovich, the movie? Take notes. I mentioned something like this last weekend, the weekend before at the oil spill in California. Stuff stinks. It doesn't evaporate. Trust me. Sooner or later, you don't want Aaron Brockovich in your front yard and backyard. You'll be burying your kids if you keep at it before they're even getting to college. You want that as a dream come true, then I suggest you start listening. Call them folks up, hey, how do I get this stuff to annihilate itself? Because pesticides, there are some harmful than others. People won't buy your crop if it's sprayed with a bunch of crap. That's killing bees and everything else around you. You gotta think real hard on that one. I'd wash it off at least before selling it. I'm glad those people do that part. In any grocery store, especially farmers market here in Elizabethtown, God bless them and those I keep in prayer. There's so many companies coming my way. If y'all want my help, you need to send me a flyer. I gave you my address, 328 Helm Street, Elizabethtown, Kentucky. My address only. Being a bachelor dad, caring for folks, supporting breast cancer awareness to Irish pubs like O'Connor's in Clarksville. Didn't forget any of you damsels. And anybody else there, I keep you on prayers to this day. I know you haven't seen me in a while. Y'all need to hang in there. There are nights I feel you guys when you didn't get enough tips and you're trying to make ends meet. You thought you were alone at that little bar the other night when you did barely made half. You thought your tears were alone when you got back. You weren't alone. I felt that way over here. Thinking, what would Care Bear do? I don't think he'd give up on just anything. Maybe, find a second job might be in order until things get better. That might help. Publix, whatever it takes. People aren't afraid of work. There's a hint. To the convention center, holidays are coming 3 months in a wake up. I celebrate Christmas all year long. There are soldiers deployed who haven't even had a Christmas with their kids. Amazed that Jesus' birth is celebrated here in E-Town, the heart of Morale Division, all year long. Me and other neighbors squared away. We take turns. Sometimes I fall asleep, okay. And that neighbor obviously knows that Care Bear cares, and he's trying vainly hard to look out for folks while everybody else looks out for each other around here. I give a hint, 3 flashes, that's 5 seconds of caring right there. You look out as far as the eye can see. If you see something, say something. Don't sit there and let someone run off with their car, what have you, break into their home, rent out their house illegally. There is such a thing as people trying to enter your house through the roof. I mean, you need to look out for this stuff, not just vinyl wall entry. I'm against sex slavery. This means I don't tolerate it. If there's any place in your office they can put a human body in, not just an air vent steel pipe, you need to check it once in a while, not just crates on a train, the inner wall of a crate. Things you can't x-ray or can't see, you have to visually look inside and see. Be amazed if there's something attached there with a water jug. Hence, they're doing something up here. That stuff is a big no-no. It's a dead giveaway. Something seriously wrong with this picture here. I feel for people trying to do right. Wrong sure as hell don't pay. Neither does crime. Not near me. People out there sacrificing their time from families, trust me, they can't do it all by themselves. There's even a crime tip. Don't have to leave your name. Just report it. Click, cell phone, iPad, whatever it takes. I walk around with my iPad half the time, sitting there looking at people, making sure they're okay, their homes are okay, things are where they left it, even on vacation. You see something, you should say something rather than nothing. Otherwise, you're just being a part of the problem. You're betraying them neighbors next to you. Biggest wildlife bird sanctuary right here. Also, Canadian geese about to migrate. God bless them. People blasting off with them. Fly away home. Favorite movie, my grandmother's before she passed away. She keeps those people in prayer. It's not easy guiding a bunch of geese back and forth, for the winter. Winter, I don't think farmers is going to be early. I think it's delayed. You still have time for your 4th crop. Early November, no later. Like last year, if you're lucky. God bless y'all for throwing in a 4th crop or trying to make a little extra money to hang tight with for the winter comes. Because when it hits, it hits. Hopefully it won't be as bad as that blizzard I drove through from Fort Campbell last winter. That me and some truckers were looking out for each other in. God bless them. I know they didn't forget a face. Especially all the way there. And having to turn all the way back because every exit was blocked off for miles. I mean, it didn't matter how many people were in line on that interstate. There was no way. But that's Mother Nature for you. She always takes back what's hers. I feel for California. Y'all need to keep a close eye on Campfires, Boy Scouts trying to help out once in a while with a few pointers while being trained. Campfires are controlled by human eyes. Don't sit there and kick it out thinking it's out complete. You'd be amazed what a little spark can do to a whole pile of leaves. And the next thing you know, whoosh, the whole area is on fire around you. You don't need to be stuck in a situation like that where it's uncontrollable and all of a sudden there's flames everywhere on trees. Pine trees especially. I feel for the senator out there. Because for every human being on this planet, there has to be a tree. Less trees means less air. Less air means more carbon monoxide. Greatest philosopher, science thinker right here. Friend of many here who keeps people like professors, teachers employed with God's help. I sit there and think about this stuff. By the way, Somalia, ancient Rome used reef areas like the beach area closest to the shore to help raise hatcheries, not just in America. That would be one way of not starving for the winter, huh? How about bring back a little Rome? What did Romans do to keep fish in place, not just keeping predators away with sharks? That would be one thing to help that whole ocean bed turn into a nice little hatchery fishing industry that would turn the whole fishing industry around. It's not for those out there already who don't have boats. Now thinking of all of them, that would be something to consider rather than starve. Just a thought, well, growing your own garden like I'm doing, vegetables, corn, wheat, what it takes to keep a family fed instead of starving. If you're thinking of all you children over there, God bless you all in Africa, Kenya, Cape Town, orphanages, Philippines, Taiwan, Japan, Korea, all those with humble places that know that there's a child that could use a better day than the one they got yesterday. Trust me, I know these things. Air Force dad made sure. He went on a field trip with a teacher one day and he says, look here, make sure you never forget that. That's a 4x5 little bit of the shed right there. Someone lives in it. You got that? Okay, good. That was at the age of 9. Boy, did I make sure I never forgot that. Something a little bathroom every day until you don't take nothing for granted right here. By the way, hi to Baby Shades, Paris sitting over there staring me down, and 5-legged friends versus my one little friend. You get together sometime. I hope you bring your earplugs. She won't be quiet with your 5 friends included. By no means. She makes T-Rex want to go hide after she challenges one. Trust me. I feel for her, but K9 came by. She definitely stared him down. She's a curious little rascal, barely a girl. Meet the parents, can't have all the fun. Jinx, and I tell her too already. What are you trying to do? When she's wicking the floor, raise the Titanic, keeping Titanic people employed. With God's prayers at Dollywood and everybody else. I'm sitting there trying to show her how to go in the toilet. She's a fast learner. Animals bring out the best in you, and at the same time, they need discipline, because if you don't discipline them, they tend to run all over, tear apart your furniture and stuff and everything else. Not a good idea. I've been raising animals since I was a kid. I'm the one living here, and when you have a pile of 4-legged friends like I do, it's like, hello. I feel for people with horses. I mean, it's not an easy job. Sometimes they'll drop kick you, even brush them the wrong way, and see Biscuit the movie. Yeah, it's like, you gotta live to learn, take things in stride, not just from your grandparents. I feel for those again who missed church the other day. I feel for the one who got told to go find out what Cabo was reading, or he don't come back home. look on his face. He can't even get to church on time. I feel for y'all waiting just for me to come online. Again, search bar up here. Help yourself. They got everything. Makes you not need a DVR no more. It's growing every day. It's designed to be kid-friendly. I mean, just type your hands, the hot contents in there. You'll be amazed what might come up. Even keeping the Muppets employed. To children's foundations, societies, people in need of a second chance, not just watching Lost City of Angels, the movie, favorites of mine, to helping folks stay positive, to preventing suicide, to keeping people employed, to helping people not worry so much about their everyday life, to providing some kind of compassion hug of a closure, of a sense of belonging, a sense of appreciation, sense of, hey, Sarge lives here. Obviously, it's safe in ElizabethTown. Or he wouldn't be living, while reading them comics, Bill Bailey and all them, Garfield. Stay hydrated, watch your health, eat fruit. Don't slack off on that. And just because you're 20 don't mean you not drink milk no more. You'd be amazed how fast someone could crack a whole femur, a whole leg. Don't do it. It's not right. Especially jumping out of parachute, jumping out of planes. God bless y'all. Another side of the U.S. Some of y'all's forts I'm trying vainly hard to get around on. Word travels very quickly. Morale Division Chief sends prayers, hugs to everybody, military and those civilian. Remember that in God's eyes, we're all equal. We're all here to try and accomplish something even better out of life. Family is everything, and so is friendship. So hang in there and stay positive. Be kind to each other, regardless of what kind of day they had or may not get the same in return. At least you showed your effort. That's what people remember you as. That's what defines, even in the military, NCO book, character. And the character adjustment. So. God bless y'all. Next up, I don't know, some of you kids should be in bed by now. Obviously, you learned a few points watching Rocky 5, huh? That ending theme. That's me and my son sometimes. You should be in bed by now. And then I'm thinking, all them years I got away watching Star Wars while Mom and Dad thought I was sleeping. Good luck! I'm going to bed early in the middle of Return of the Jedi. The coast was clear with a high tilt near TV remote. Back in the silver again. Nice trick, Dad. You thought I was a pistol outside at a restaurant and nothing yet. God bless all those in London, Scotland, Ireland, Norway, Finland, Greenland, Iceland, Alaska, Canada. Whoa, wait, certain damsels staring me down way up there. All you in Paris, especially those I do a little Picasso artwork with, and sense of humor, that's how I launch fireworks. I say, hey, look, King Louis would have a heart on up there if he saw me launch 11 in the rain while drinking a cup of coffee and holding a steak knife. What a rush. Such marvelous colors Picasso would be proud of. If he was still alive, keeping him going in memories, not just at museums. Y'all hang in there and hold the fort. Trust me, there are people who depend upon you for a job and a mission. The mission's not done. Not when there's a kid out there on some disaster relief needing a person as strong and courageous as you, not just seen in movies, to keep them that little gifted piece going. Freedom is not free. It comes with a price. I sing songs like La Cinco de Mayo, Porque leads to me. Love your friends, love your family. God bless the brave, land of the free. Freedom is not free, it comes with a price. thinking of those they love, day and night, holding those onto those they care about, while they sleep in bedtime. The Cinco de Mayo, porque eres to me. God bless those in uniform, night and day from our hearts to thee. Freedom is not free, it comes without a price. Rifles at the ready, standing for what is right. Remember to be kind to each other, day and night. For when it's all said and done, hug those you love tight. God bless you all. To amazing grace, how sweet the sound. Once saved, I'd have a whole church with that welcome. A wretch like me, I once was lost, but now I'm found. Once saved, our souls are like me. Much love. Yeah, hang in there. Remember to come by 328 Helm Street on ElizabethTown. Even pull up and honk. Once in a while, you'd be amazed. Don't be shy. Got comforts at home. Yeah, bring over a cup of coffee. We'll be alright. Poker cards. I got that already. More movies. Whatever it takes to help you feel better and not so alone and embarrassed. Alright? Check. While playing Xbox. God bless y'all.